Okay, hello and welcome everybody. Thanks for taking the time today to join me. I would like to share something with you that um, really means a lot to me, and it has the potential to affect both your health and your wealth. And I'm going to try to share my screen with you here. Okay, so hopefully you can see the slides today. Um, but you were invited here to learn about a health and anti-aging technology. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself. My name's Katie Warner, and I'm a 36-year-old network marketing professional, full-time mom. If you can see the screen, that's my cute family. My husband runs call centers and is a huge disc golf fanatic. We live in Ogden, Utah, in the United States, and we love hiking and snowboarding. But you were invited here to learn about ASEA Redox. And this technology is a cutting-edge technology that represents a new category of science. It covers health, wellness, athletic performance, skin care, and of course with every breakthrough comes infinite opportunity. The cell is the basic functional unit of all living organisms. It's the building blocks of life. And it should be no surprise then that good health truly begins at a cellular level. Healthy heart requires healthy heart cells, healthy lungs requires healthy lung cells, healthy muscles, well, you got the picture. We truly live and die at a cellular level. And the problem is that cell damage can occur every day. It happens from sun exposure, exercise, poor diet, stress, or health challenges. But fortunately, our cells are amazing machines. They make their own tools for repairing the damage that occurs. The fact is your body is in a constant state of healing itself, or in other words, repairing and replacing its cells. The cell's most fundamental healing tools are called redox signaling molecules. Redox signaling molecules are essential to the health of your cells and the health of your body, and they play a key role in the vital cell functions of protect, detect, repair, and replace. So, how important are your redox molecules? If your 75 trillion cells suddenly stopped making them right now, you wouldn't live to the end of this presentation. And science, they have known about redox signaling molecules, but producing them on the outside of the human cell in a stabilized and balanced form was considered impossible. But of course, the impossible just takes dedication, effort, and extraordinary insight. Two bodies of science had come together, redox research and molecule restructuring. And building on 2 decades of research with millions of dollars invested, a team led by atomic medical physicist, Dr. Gary L. Samuelson, achieved a true massive breakthrough. And it's one that is being called by many in the scientific and medical communities the single greatest health science breakthrough of our lifetime. PhDs, scientists, best-selling authors, medical professionals, they're all stating this technology has the potential to spearhead the greatest advances in health we have ever seen. Harnessing the power of your own body to keep it well. A technology that may be as significant as the discovery of DNA and represents a breakthrough for humanity. More and more scientists are studying redox signaling with its own peer-reviewed journal, scores of textbooks, and over 100 scientific papers published per month. Now, to fully grasp the ASEA Redox breakthrough, it's important to remember that your body is the most complex communication network on Earth. Every second of every day, your cells pass a tremendous amount of information through the body. Any breakdown in this communication or signaling, and you cannot achieve your full health and healing potential. So let's just pretend that your home is on fire and you're calling the fire department to help. They have the fire truck, the firefighters, the fire hoses. They have all of the necessary tools and skills to put out the fire. However, because of a poor cell signal, they don't get the message and your home goes up in flames. Now, did you know that your genes contain the blueprint and instructions for health for your entire body? Cell signaling in your body plays a key role in regulating gene expression. And we're not talking about eye color. Your genes do much more than dictate physical characteristics. Genes give life-sustaining instructions to cells, and cells carry out those instructions. And that will keep you alive and healthy. And as we age, cell communication breaks down, the signal weakens, and gene expression can be disrupted. Perhaps you or someone you know is dealing with challenges, maybe with their immune system, inflammation, cardiovascular issues, digestive disorders, or maybe hormone imbalances. Well, our technology is scientifically proven to turn these genes back on, increasing gene signaling pathways by up to 31%. Positively impacting your immune function, inflammatory response, heart health, digestive health, and even hormone balance. So as you might imagine, the ASEA technology is empowering people to feel better than ever before, helping people with challenges they may have even had for decades. And it's not just for health. Casual athletes all the way up to Olympic athletes are experiencing improvements in endurance, strength, and recovery, beating personal bests and breaking documented world records. And I'm sure that you've heard that seeing is believing. Well, this same technology, when applied to the skin, results in a healthy, clear complexion, tighter, younger-looking skin, while dramatically reducing stretch marks, wrinkles, cellulite, and many other signs of aging, all while using the body's own natural renewal and healing processes. This patented groundbreaking process consists of 3 phases. First, high-grade salt is combined with ultra-pure water to create a pristine saline solution. And then next, the bonds are broken, leaving free-floating atoms, and then the atoms are recombined to form new molecules. They're stable, long-life redox signaling molecules, the same molecules that are made within the human body. The ASEA Redox products are the first and only products on the market that contain active redox signaling molecules, cellular messengers that are vital in protecting, rejuvenating, and restoring cells. This technology has been validated by third-party independent science, and thanks to multiple patents, there is nothing else like it in the world. ASEA owns and operates its very own state-of-the-art 33,000 square foot production facility, which I would almost say is a little bigger because we were there the other day and they've extended it, so I'm not sure what that changes to, but the ASEA Redox products are produced in this FDA-registered, NSF-certified facility, and they are certified by an independent third-party lab to contain those active redox signaling molecules. ASEA, the company, has been profitable every year since its inception and carries no debt. The company recently opened this beautiful 50,000 square foot facility that's less than a mile from the production facility. And in less than 10 years, the company has expanded from a handful of employees to an internationally known direct sales company. And ASEA is now operating in about 40 international markets with more than 65,000 active distributors across the globe. Just something fun that I like to add, because I appreciate free stuff. So we do have points if you are a preferred customer or a associate, so you will earn products just by drinking your product. You'll earn points. And right now, been trying to watch our time. I would like to introduce you to our special guest. Her name is Kathy Rossmann. Now let me try to stop sharing my screen here. Stop share. Okay. Now, oh, hold on. Sorry. Kathy is about to celebrate her 40th wedding anniversary this February. They've been blessed with 3 grown daughters and have a total of 6 grandchildren so far. Kathy has been a registered nurse for 40 years, and she also is a permanent makeup artist and has owned her business for 25 years in Grand Junction, Colorado. And Kathy is a flautist, I think that's the appropriate way to say that, and has played with the Grand Junction Symphony Orchestra since 1988. She loves doing photography, especially photos of her grandchildren, and enjoys working out, exercising, and hiking in beautiful Colorado. And though she has worked in hospitals as a purveyor of traditional medicine, she avoids drugs like the plague. She has participated in many so-called alternative avenues to promote better health and wellness for herself and her family. She has pursued the network marketing business model because of the time freedom it offers and because she doesn't have to compete with others, but she's able to help them to improve their health and their financial situation. When ASEA was introduced to her in 2015, she was in great need of the product, and she recognized the opportunity to do what she loves, and that is helping others to improve their physical and emotional health, and to improve their financial health. So tonight she's going to share the remarkable experiences that she's had. So I would like to turn the time over to Kathy, and I believe you can unmute yourself and you're good, right?
Okay, I already unmuted myself.
I can hear you, so you are good. Go ahead, and I will turn the time over to you.
Do I unmute the video part?
If you can see an option to do that, you would have to, I think it would be in the bottom left.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can turn that on if you'd like to.
Okay, there.
Woohoo! Okay, I can see you.
Yeah.
There we go.
Now I can see if I fit the screen or not. Okay, I think so. Ha! That's pretty neat. So thank you so much, Katie, for that wonderful introduction.
Yeah.
And you asked me this afternoon to share a little bit about how I found out about ASEA, and then I'm going to just talk a little about that, as well as where I've been in the last 2.5 years that I have been drinking ASEA Redox supplement, as well as using the Renew 28 gel. So in 2014, in November, I had to quit my job as a nurse at St. Mary's Hospital here because my health had declined significantly over the previous couple of years. I found myself living with a brain fog. I was having difficulty when I would be speaking with people, accessing words at times, and also I was forgetting people's names, and that's just not like me as far as I'm concerned. I also had developed a significant joint pain in several joints, but mostly involving my hands and my thumbs. And that made it very difficult for me to do my job as a nurse, as well as just functioning at home and being able to open jars or picking up my grandchildren or putting their car seat, actually opening up their car seat. That was just terribly painful for me. And I had some other health issues as well. But mostly, the sleep, the brain fog, the lack of mental clarity, and those types of things. So I actually was sorry that I had to quit my job at St. Mary's, but it was necessary, and I called it retirement, so it sounded good, but you know how that is. So after quitting my job, nothing got better. I was tired all the time. I would wake up in the morning feeling exhausted. My hands weren't getting any better. And I was still forgetting people's names and having difficulty talking without losing some of the words. And so I was introduced to ASEA about 5 months later in 2015. When I first heard about it, I just thought, yes, I can see these redox molecules that I've never heard of before can have a great impact on health. I took a look at, the scientific studies that have been done, and I looked at the company, ASEA, and the people who were involved in setting up the company, and, the founders and everybody there, recognizing the integrity of these people. And I knew that this was something that I wanted to try. So I ordered my product. I got it within a couple of days, and then I started taking it. And I am one of, they say about 5 to 10% of people might experience some improvement in their health issues within the first week. And I'm one of them. So after just drinking it the one day, the next morning I woke up for the first time in years before the alarm. In fact, it was a couple of hours before the alarm, and I felt rested. My eyes were clear. My fog was gone, and I couldn't believe it. I thought I was going to have to go back to sleep in a couple of hours, but I didn't. I felt good. I felt energized, and I have never felt that brain fog since then. So I'm so excited to say that. Also, within that first week, I was experiencing some improvement that was obvious to me with my thumb joints, particularly, and that has continued to improve. And then my brain fog just never returned. I had some scars that went away. I got some feeling back, and some scars that had been numb. And so now I got to move forward. So that was at the beginning. And then as these 2.5 years have continued on, I have, experienced other things. I've been able to go back to exercising, playing my flute again. And then this year in July 24th to be exact, I went into the hospital because I had a headache on the left side of my face, and that I checked my blood pressure and it was very elevated. And so my husband took me into the hospital. We found out with a CT scan that I had a blood clot that had formed in the inner lining of my left carotid artery, and that I'm trying to be very careful. I'm a nurse, not to be making medical claims. So ASEA makes no claims to treat, heal, cure, or diagnose any disease or health condition, and I'm not doing that either, but my words that come out shouldn't be too medical sounding. But anyway, so my carotid artery was clogged, and I only had 90 to 95% of the blood flow going to my left brain. The treatment for this is a heparin infusion, and by IV. So they started me on that. They admitted me. I was there in the hospital. About 18 hours later, it was 6 p.m. on Tuesday, I felt some flashes of lights in my right peripheral vision, and I pressed my nurse call button. The CNA walked in the room. She said, "Oh, Kathy, what can I do for you?" And I turned to her, and I was getting ready to tell her what was happening. I turned to her. I looked, and no words came out of my mouth. I could not speak. She knew what it was. She hit the emergency button, and that brought in the full team, the stroke team, and they evaluated me. They immediately checked all of my extremities, my hands and my feet and to see if I could move them. And at that point, I realized that I could not raise my right arm when they asked me to. I could do my left, but anyway, my right arm had no feeling, had no strength. And the same was true of my right leg. So they took me to do the CT angiogram to take a look at my brain. And sure enough, there was, the clot had broken off. It had moved into my middle cerebral artery, cutting off the blood flow to my left brain. By the time they finished that, it was about 15 minutes. And then I actually said some words. Then, next thing I knew, I was moving my fingers of my right hand. And they brought me back to the room. They determined they were going to have to send me to another hospital in Denver. And I just realized what time it is. so I'm sorry. Okay, so I was transported by care flight to Denver. And they were expecting to do the procedure to attempt to pull out, to suck out the clot through the artery. And by the time they were getting ready to put me on the gurney to fly me over to Denver, I was able to move my arms, my legs. I had full strength, and they allowed me to walk from the bed to the gurney. So I was walking, and then they flew me over there. Everybody over there evaluated me too. They realized that I was functioning, my function had come back. And so they admitted me and kept me there for 3 days, and they didn't need to do any therapies for me. The normal thing is this. The level of the stroke that I had is called a severe stroke. When they evaluate your function, they give them ratings. Everything is rated, and then they total up the numbers. If the total of the numbers is between 1 and 6, it's called a mild stroke. If it's between 7 and 15, it's a moderate stroke. If it's between 16 and 20, it's a severe stroke. And the chances of a person dying, the probability of death, according to the literature that I checked out, is very, very high if your stroke is between 16 and 20 and above. If you don't die, you will very, very, very likely have dysfunctions or the inability to use your arm that was involved, or the leg, or to have any balance or strength or sensation. Also, the facial droop, which I did have, and then the speech aspect. You know, people take either a long time to get their speech function back, or never, or they have garbled speech, or you know, or none at all. And then, of course, you know, the same thing applies to the, you know, the arm and the leg motion, strength, and balance, and things like that. So anyway, so I had, they said on my discharge summary that my total number at the time of the stroke here in Grand Junction was 20. So I was at that highest level that you can be. And they could not believe it, that everything came back. Okay, so now, I believe I've had a miracle happen, and the miracle started when I was introduced to ASEA and started drinking it. So my body's cells were repairing themselves and detecting damaged cells, and also protecting the healthy cells in my body. And the when the stroke, whoops, I'm saying the word. Anyway, when my event happened in my brain, I had been drinking them. I had increased the number that I was drinking. I was normally drinking 4 ounces twice a day. I am 64 years old, and I have found that drinking 4 ounces twice a day is the best for me to maintain all of the areas that are improved and helped in our bodies. So my immune system is outstanding. My inflammatory regulation system, and my heart and my hormones, and my gut health, and my cardiovascular system. And so I had been drinking more that day, and continued, but in both hospitals. When I was transported over there, that was about the only thing we could bring with us was my 2 bottles of ASEA that I had, because my husband had brought it in, and he went in the plane with the clothes on his back and his wallet and his cell phone. And so I am, yeah. So, okay. So by Friday was when they discharged me, sent me home. I had complete function. I didn't need to have any physical therapy, speech therapy, or occupational therapy. The following week, actually on Sunday, after we got back to Grand Junction, I went up to the floor, the neuro unit, and visited with the nurses there. Everybody's gawking at me, because this never happens. And people, when they have a stroke, we talk about how important it is to be in the hospital as soon as possible. That's because the only treatment they can do is to try to prevent more blood clots from forming, if that's what a person has, by giving the anticoagulants. But being in the hospital when you have a stroke doesn't make your recovery time any shorter, because there are no drugs that can be given to repair the cells in the brain that have had no blood flow to them. So my body was able to, my cells were able to detect that there were damaged cells in my brain, because there was no blood flowing to them for that time period. And knowing that the redox molecules, as they travel in our body, they're not dependent upon our blood circulatory system. So even though there was no blood flowing to my brain cells at that time, those redox molecules were able to get to that area, because they just travel within our mucous membranes. As soon as we swallow the ASEA, when we have it in our mouth, it's being absorbed immediately into our system and travels throughout our bodies, regardless of whether there's blood flow to that area. And it's, they travel immediately, through the skin as well, when we're using the Renew gel or spraying the ASEA on our skin. So my body's brain cells were able to repair the damaged cells and replace them, and to give them messages. The message went straight there where it was needed, to just give the messages to the cells, turn on the switches to tell the cells to replicate themselves if they were healthy cells, to replace those damaged or dying cells. So I am so grateful for what I've experienced. And I'm grateful that the Lord brought this into my life 2.5 years ago, and I give him the glory.
Well, I'm so happy too. I think that's an amazing story. Really. I actually know some people that have been through, that type of experience and did not heal, did not recover as well, So
Right.
I know that what you're saying is definitely true, that there is a time frame that would be at least expected. I would say weeks for some, months for some, but yeah, yours was definitely a miracle.
Yeah.
So like Kathy said, ASEA doesn't claim to cure, prevent, or treat anything. So it's just giving your body tools, and then it just goes to work where it needs to go. So if you have any more questions, I would like you to go to the person who showed you this video or invited you here today, and they can share more information, more stories, or anything that you need to help you learn more. And then we do have webinars that we will hold each week with more testimonials, so we would love to see you back here. And I just wanted to say that I really appreciate you joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Good night, everybody.